This program contains subject matter and language that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
My name is Peter. I'm 28 years old and I'm from Huntington Beach, California.
Peter's always been interested in music, but his passion lies with the guitar.
By age 26, Peter had the job of his dreams.
I was designing guitars for some of the biggest bands and guitar players in the world.
We were so proud of him. We had a lot of hope for his future.
It was everything I had ever dreamed of doing. But now I'm addicted to fentanyl. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can kill someone, but my tolerance is very high. I take a hit of fentanyl when I wake up, before I eat, before I drink water, before I even get out of bed.
When Peter's high, he falls asleep everywhere.
In addition to fentanyl, I'm using a gram of meth a day and 3 Xanax bars a day.
He's currently homeless, sleeping in his car.
Yeah, I've woken up in the ER from an overdose 3 times in the last 4 months.
He's been in jail many times.
Looking at Peter now, you could feel the sadness on his face.
Peter was born in Huntington Beach, California. He was my first child, and it was just a joyous time. We had Samia 3 years later, and a couple of years after that, we had Mark.
Religion, it was something that we were very involved with. We'd go to church every Sunday.
My childhood was great. My parents raised me extremely well.
Not only was Peter great at playing guitar, but he was amazing at building them.
I built my first guitar when I was 14 or so. I couldn't afford the kind of guitar that I wanted, so instead I built my own guitar from scratch.
I found out that Peter's dad was cheating on me.
When my dad moved out, it devastated me, and it left a huge void in my family, and my mom expected me to fill that void.
After the divorce, my mom worked a lot, so my brother had to take more of a parental role in the house.
Peter, being 15, he had other interests in sports and in school, and then be in charge of the house added another burden on Peter's life.
Peter graduated from high school, top of his class, with a 4.8 GPA.
I wanted nothing more than to go to college to create art and play music. But my parents put pressure on me to go into the medical field, and I had no say in the matter.
The reason I told Peter that music was a second career was because I know how difficult life is and how expensive it is to live and survive.
I felt that I was obligated to do what my family wanted me to do because they were paying for college. The pressure from my mom and my dad and my grandparents just added to the stressors. I was doing everything I was supposed to do, but it all became too much. I began partying a lot with ecstasy and cocaine. I started using more and more drugs to escape everything in my life. I was using the needle the second day after I tried it.
In his first year of college, Peter dropped out. I confronted him and said, "Looks like you're taking methamphetamines." And he finally admitted to me that he was. That's when I took him to an inpatient rehab.
In Peter's early 20s, he was in and out of rehabs, couldn't keep a job, was living in his car a lot of the time.
Peter was stealing because of his drug addiction. He got caught and he had to go to jail for a while.
When I got out of jail, I wasn't gonna waste my second chance, so I decided to go to the Music Institute in Los Angeles to pursue my passion. I was designing guitars for some of the biggest bands and guitar players in the world.
Peter was building guitars for famous musicians like Journey, the Eagles, Alice in Chains.
I'm a hard worker and I was doing a great job. At one point, they upped the workload a lot because we had a lot of orders and we had to jam and get things done. About 6 months into the job, I relapsed on meth. I was able to get in early, bang out a bunch of necks, get them ready for the next step in the process. before my other coworkers even got there. But as I relapsed on meth, I was looking worse and worse, acting more erratic.
One day, about a year later, Peter's probation officer came to do a check at the house, and they found drug items.
When I got out of jail last year, I started doing heroin because I felt like I already blew my dream job, so I just went back to what I know. Typically, I buy every day about $1,200 worth of fentanyl, which is referred to as a piece. Okay, cool. I'll be heading down there right now from Costa Mesa.
I worry about the types of people my brother is dealing with. They could come after him, come after his family, even take his life.
Peter's relationship with his brother Mark is not very close. Because of Peter's addiction, it is hard for Mark to grow close to Peter.
Growing up, Peter was a great older brother. He was my best friend. We were inseparable. But I began to distance myself from Peter when I realized just how bad his addiction was.
So how long have you known that Peter's been on fentanyl?
Just recently. I didn't know it was fentanyl till a few months ago.
So usually addiction stems from some form of trauma. Can you recall anything that might have been traumatic growing up?
The divorce. And another thing that came up as a young kid, Peter had some sexual abuse at a church.
Oh my God.
You know, the adults would go in the service and the kids would go to their Sunday school. And he said that this guy would take him upstairs to an empty room and lock the door and sexually abuse him.
Do you know how old he was when he was going to Sunday school and all this happening?
We started early, 6 maybe. But he didn't share it with us till 10 years after it happened. He was a teenager when he told me.
The memories of my childhood abuse started coming back to me more and more, and I got into a real depression, and I started using more and more drugs to take away the pain.
You know, that's the kind of trauma that leads to an addiction. Starting to make sense. Do you guys know much about fentanyl?
They told me 2 milligrams will kill you.
2 milligrams. And do you know how much he's doing every day? 1,000 times more than that. He's buying $1,200 a week worth of fentanyl, right? A week.
A day.
A day?
Oh my God. We saw 800 one day, 1,200 another. We've only been here for
He
4
sold
or
it?
5 days.
He's buying this. A rock that's bigger than this, and he's selling that or doing that, right, as much as he wants every day.
The crew has Peter in the van, so they will be over here within the next 15 minutes.
Perfect, thank you.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Come on.
I need to
wanna
go
go
pee
to the
really quick.
restroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in the restroom downstairs. It sounds like he might be using. Just a heads up. Okay, thanks.
It's the first thing I thought.
I can hear it on his mic.
Go before me, because I go slow.
No, here, I'll help you.
Huh? Okay, thank you. That's nice of you.
Okay.
Peter, I want you to know that I care about you and I really want you to get better. Your addiction has plagued you and the rest of our family for a large portion of my life. It's hard for me to remember a time when you were clean. But I do remember you being a great big brother whom I looked up to a lot. Now times have changed and it's hard for me to see you the same I used to.
I know we all had great expectations from you to be what we thought you should be. But now I realize the pressure we might have placed on you to be the man of the house after our divorce.
I know that was a lot for you to handle at your young age. I apologize. I don't want to get a phone call telling me you've overdosed and died. This is a fear I face every day. If you decline this opportunity, you are turning your back on your family. If you choose addiction over your family's love, then we have no choice but to change how we love you. Are you ready to go to treatment today, right now?
Yeah, I'll do it today.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
I have something I want you to take with you, okay? This is for you. I know how much it means to you to have a guitar. Thank you so much. Watch your back, okay?
I'm Tim. Nice to meet you. Welcome. How are you?
I've been better. You know, I haven't been sober more than 4 months. I don't know what it's like.
It's gonna be tough, but you can do it. You just gotta have an open mind and just go into it willing.
I have 71 days off of drugs and alcohol. Physically, I'm feeling pretty amazing, actually. I haven't had this much clean time for like 7 years. It was a little unsettling at first, but I'm getting acclimated to starting to feel again.